Just a few years ago, Thailand made history by being the first Asian country to legalize the green stuff. But now it looks like that might be changing. With these new regulations on the horizon, how will this situation affect consumers, tourists, business, you name it? What is the landscape looking like right now? And what could it possibly look like in the future? That's what we are getting into in today's video. We're gonna break it all down. We're gonna look at what's coming. We're gonna look at the things that have already changed and where it is possibly gonna go from here. Let's get into it. How's it going? I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Over the past few months, I have gotten a lot of questions about the situation currently in Thailand with the greenery. There has been a ton of conflicting reports out there as to how this is going to be in the near future, as well as how it is right now. If you are planning on coming to Thailand soon and you are interested in the greenery, make sure you stick it out through the entire video to make sure you're going to be all legit. And I've also got a special surprise for you guys to make sure if that's something that you enjoy, you're taken care of. Disclaimer, myself, nor Tempus TV, nor any of the Tempus TV affiliates condone any type of illegal behavior. We are not endorsing anything that is against the law. As a matter of fact, in this video, we are doing the complete opposite. We're letting you know what the situation is, how it's gonna be, so that way you can make sure you're all legit. I think it's important to understand how we got here. Like we mentioned earlier, just a few years ago, Thailand made history by being the first country in Asia to legalize. Fast forward to 2025, and it appears as if there's being somewhat of a U-turn, reclassifying, tightening access, and potentially criminalizing recreational use again. What is going on right now, as well as what is possibly going on in the future, and how that all impacts you if you are coming to Thailand. Before 2022, possession was strictly illegal under Thailand law. In June 2022, however, Thailand removed flower from the narc list, effectively decriminalizing it, the first country in Asia to do so. And then it seemed like essentially overnight, there was dispensaries and shops on every corner. There was a ton of people talking about how they were getting ready to come to Thailand now that this was a thing. But honestly, from the start, the framework of everything was pretty vague. And I think that has a lot to do with why we're kind of seeing things get reeled back in now. Those dispensaries popped up absolutely everywhere. You could not walk 50 meters down the road without passing a few of them. And understandably, there was a lot of people who weren't really sure how they felt about it, because at first it didn't really seem like there was a whole lot of regulation. It was a bit of a free-for-all. It didn't seem like there was a ton of oversight. And if you're coming from America, if you're from a state that's legal, it's super expensive. You have to pass a bunch of tests. And then even once you are open, all your product has to get tested before you're legally allowed to sell it. And honestly, at the start, I don't think there was a lot of that going on in Thailand. If you were here during that time and you are a connoisseur, you might have noticed that finding good quality products was pretty hard. And even if you did find them, the prices were a bit ridiculous. But luckily, later in the video, I've got a little surprise for you that if you are in Thailand, you're tired of paying high prices and getting low quality, I've got you taken care of, so stick around. So fast forward to 2025, and the Ministry of Public Health essentially came out of left field and amended some of these laws that had now been put in place, or lack thereof. That amendment reaffirmed that flower is essentially a controlled herb and enforces stricter rules around non-medical, quote unquote, recreational sales. So essentially putting it into the same classification as medicines. Some of the key new requirements included GACP, Good Agricultural and Collection Practices certification, now required for growers. Dispensaries must source from GACP certified growers and provide traceability for purchase sources. Prescription requirement. This is the big one. This is probably the biggest change that we are seeing so far. Buyers must obtain a prescription from a licensed medical, traditional medicine, pharmacy, or dental professional. Could you imagine if your dentist like that could hook you up in America? I don't care, man. Yeah, just fill it, put on SpongeBob. And then monthly reporting by dispensaries on sales and inventory. So not to fear, it is not a complete 180. I have seen some stories and some videos of people out there talking about like, oh, it's gonna completely disappear. They're gonna roll it back 100%. And at least for now, that doesn't seem to be the case. Sometimes these things go back and forth and back and forth, so it's hard to keep track of them. So one thing to note, as of right now, I was not able to find anything saying when this is going to start being enforced. The amendment was made on June of 2025, but there is still some question about when these dispensaries are required to start doing this. But another thing to note, one thing that was touched on briefly, is that dispensaries are going to be allowed to have their own medical professional on site. Essentially, they have a doctor on staff that can be in there and give you certifications. I'm not sure how it'll work yet. We have to wait and see, but I would kind of imagine that it will be something like the California system in the early 2000s, where if you have a pre-existing condition, you can go in, you can see a doctor, you can get your medical clearance that way. It does seem like it's going to be a pretty extensive list, so more than likely you are going to be able to get something figured out. I would imagine in the next year or so, this might be changing quite a bit. If you are in Thailand and you need to get set up with high quality product at low prices, feel free to hit the QR code on screen right now. Go ahead, go in there, load up. You can get delivery all over Thailand, same day delivery in Pattaya. And of course, I've got you taken care of because I love you guys. So go ahead and use code Tempus TV5, all lowercase, during checkout for an additional 5% off. But my personal favorites by far are the Black Runt Pop and the Gelato 41. So if you are in Thailand, you need to get hooked up, you need to get taken care of, hop over there, either hit the link in the description or the pinned comment and get yourself taken care of. You deserve it. Of course, I will be following this story very closely. If there are any major updates, I will be sure to let you guys know. I will see you later. And like we said, if you're in Thailand, you need some high quality products delivered. Don't forget to hit the link down below, Tempus TV5 at checkout. I'll see you later. Have a good one.